Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, available online, shipped via Amazon, not available on Sundays, Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Had to get that last one out. Pause. Beforehand, right?
Hey, yo!
I said pause.
Take it easy.
Yeah. I'm going before we keep the music off. Today's date, Wednesday, February the 5th. Hey, Wednesday, February the 5th.
Year of our Lord. Year of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
20 and 20. 5th.
You have the right to remain tuned in.
Yes, indeed.
We're gonna keep working with these until I find one I like.
There you go. I'm with it. Before we get the show moving, you notice there's no music. We have to give according to Page 6, Hollywood Reporter, and Rolling Stone magazine, we have lost hip-hop mogul and icon Irv Gotti at the age of 57. We'll dedicate this show to him, and God bless hip-hop, and friends and family, hold your head. We partied to Irv. Don't act like we didn't. Don't be that person. So
if you DJ during that era, yeah, you made some money with Irv.
If you club during that era, you had some fun thanks to Irv. So yeah, don't be that person. So rest in peace to Irv, and thank you for your contributions to this game. All right.
Man. Yo.
Man, they hate to start the show off like that, but I think that was necessary.
We need everybody to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Whatever you need to do, whoever you need to get with, if you need an accountability partner, if you need an accountability group, just take care of yourself, please.
I don't want to turn it into this kind of conversation, but don't be afraid to fire your physician. I got a call today about a referral that I had from May of last year.
What?
I'm not playing. So I got a voicemail that proves it.
Listen. As much as these, and not to turn it into one of these conversations, but as long as the premiums cost what they cost, you tell me anything more than 2 weeks on a referral, we moving on to the next, homeboy.
They had the utmost of confidence when they called me talking about, yeah, we're calling you about a referral that you had back in May of 2024. I'm like, yeah, nah, bro, you're not doing that for real.
You think I'm still waiting on you suffering what I was dealing with? You don't drown yourself in a sink full of bleach
with that issue, and I've had not one but 2 physicals since then. Boy, listen, relax. I do what I can because I got people I gotta be here for. You dig? And on that note, yeah, that's where we gonna leave it. Come on, drive the car. Yo, so let's take it back in time real quick. We're gonna take you back about a little less than a week ago. It was all good just a little less than a week ago.
About a week ago.
Royal Rumble was going down, and we did it. You know who ain't going to win. And I gave you a prediction. There was a seed planted on Monday.
Okay.
And anybody listening within an earshot that screams at your phone or listening device when you hear us or watch us,
first of all, thank you for listening and watching.
You're not going to agree with this as a seed being planted, but a seed was planted on Monday.
Okay.
And it has to do with the same person who I criticized for calling his shot for the Rumble and then losing a match at Saturday night's main event.
I love this pick.
What if we got Jimmy Uso or anybody not named Jimmy Uso winning and running it back against Walter?
You mean Jay?
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm looking at Jimmy on my screen, but yes, Jay Uso. The word.
I love that. I love that pick.
This is the first time in the history of the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast infused with hip hop that we actually got the Royal Rumble winner correct. I did that shit.
Wait, it's the first time
that we got the Royal Rumble winner correct?
I'm not 100% certain that that's accurate. You know, we write around here a lot. Not to take away or shit on your win in any way possible. That's not what I'm doing here.
Like. That's what it sounds like, bro.
I'm just saying we've predicted quite a few Royal Rumbles in the history of this show, and I feel like
I'd probably say 7 to be exact at this point.
But then you see what I told you about why the Saturday night's main event match matters now?
Yeah. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? I play the long game around here. Pause. Look,
so we get a run back, and it's not definite yet, but we're gonna get a run back of the Saturday night's main event match from January 25th at WrestleMania. More than likely, night so 1. Fast. I would love it to be night 2.
Not so fast, my boy. In my best Lee Corso voice, not so fast, because we are talking about Jey Uso, aka Yeet Man, aka Get to the Money, aka Young Firefly, aka Oos Gang or Don't Bang,
aka Young San Francisco.
You feel me? aka the San Francisco Yeet,
aka the real gateway to the West.
Yeet. So look,
how the West was won.
Say that's it. That's yeah. Hit the bell,
that's a bar. That is a bar.
Yeah. Straight like that.
Yeah, that's a bar, man. I'm in my bag. Go ahead, bro.
Looking at this on the surface, there are a lot of people who will say, "Yeah, it's a foregone conclusion that it's gonna run back with Walter in our house." And to be perfectly honest with you, that's a night 1 main event. That's not a night 2. The winner of the Royal Rumble is supposed to be the main event of WrestleMania. There is a better story on the table that would actually give Jey Uso a night 2 WrestleMania ending.
Hey, before we go deep in that sidebar, shouts out to Sheamus, who is a whole fool. He was on a podcast earlier this week and said that Walter and Gunther are like twins who just have different ideas on diet.
Look, I kind of know. I kind of have an idea why we're not always on the approved list of podcasts for WWE talent to pull up on. We understand, but yeah. So, hey, if y'all gonna let them go out here and say stuff like this, you might as well let them come over
here. There are certain people that have gotten away with saying far more on TV with a live mic than what you get away with saying on the Broken Pencil. Just the door is open, man. Just except for a couple of you know, no, you don't know.
We've been closing the garage door like every other week, because every time we turn around and it'd be like somebody we wanted on here and they say something stupid, and then you're like, I don't know if I want to do that, right? with your stupid ass. Like, come on.
Let's see. So let me see here. We had Good Try Terry. Now we got Rob Van Dam.
First, Good Try Terry was never pulling up over here.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Now let us be realistic, because there's gonna be somebody from a certain demographic that's gonna be like, oh, Hogan would have never done your show anyway. You're absolutely correct. He never would have come over here ever, and we understand that, and whatever. But yes, there are people that
I think something else that never happened.
What's that?
Just like he would never come do our show, we would never drink his beer because we believe in quality.
I don't even drink beer, so
there is that.
Yeah,
and not nearly as much as I did when I was in Texas.
See, we have one beer drinker, so your chances are already cut by 50%. But yeah, I just look. Keep driving, because then I'm gonna go on a tangent. Keep going. Keep going.
We were going back on the whole Jey Uso thing as far as like his potential to not be going up against Walter.
Because here's the thing.
Hey, hold on, I'm gonna show up now.
Here's the thing.
Skating on thin ice too. But here's the
close, bro. He this close.
This close. Winning the Royal Rumble guarantees you WrestleMania main event. We have gotten into this understanding that because we've split WrestleMania into 2 nights, that one WrestleMania main event spot is the equivalent of the other. We know better over here on this side. The guys with, the green championship belt, we know better. Night 2 is why we spend the money. And when I say we, I mean the sponsorship. We're selling this card. We're selling this weekend based on the main event of night 2. You don't. Okay. How do you read a book?
From front to back. You don't jump around. This ain't Everlast. This ain't Danny Boy.
From left to right, from front to back. The best parts are at the end. Pause. So it is of the understanding that if you are the main event, you should be in the last match. So now let me say this now so it doesn't come off as any type of hasty or entitled reaction later on. If Jey Uso is not in the last match of night 2, I have a problem with it.
There's one way I don't.
I'm listening.
I understand what you're saying. Like, that's going to be the selling point. And the only way that I don't have a problem with him ending night 2 is if he starts off night 2. Because if you're not last, if you don't go on last, you better go on first. We learned that with Seth versus Brock Lesnar. It was for a different reason, but we learned it then.
We made that exception for that clown because the guy who was not going on last wasn't playing that.
And the God MC called that shot. Who better to call that shot than him?
That's just a really good explanation as for Brock ain't sticking around all night to do the job.
Let's also reconvene on the fact that what is the end game for WrestleMania or any big event? Not just WrestleMania, but for any, well, it doesn't get any bigger than WrestleMania. But what is the end game for big events from a fan perspective?
The payoff.
And how do you want to go home as a fan?
Happy.
Tell me one better way for a fan to go home happy than yeeting his brains out. I'll wait.
For the purposes of this show and the people that we would like to probably listen to it later, I'm gonna go.
Hey,
with
yo.
I'm gonna go with what we got on the table, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's how.
Why do I deal? this
you look, you know what type of week we've had.
Why do I deal?
Don't stop me when your feelings is hurt. Stop me when I start lying.
There it is. Yep, there it is.
When I lie, that's when you can stop me and we can talk about it. But until then, hey, keep your guard up.
Yeah.
But I will say Jay does have an alternative story on the table. Whether or not WWE chooses to explore that option.
Oh, he's got a few, bro. There's so many different ways. I mean, naturally for a world title situation, there's only 2 stories that matter at this moment. But there are so many different ways that we can get there. Like if they really wanted to walk this dog and fast track it at the same time while keeping him in the main event picture, you could literally have a different situation every week between now and WrestleMania and not tire the storyline out.
Yeah, well, if Jay was of a different
ilk, cloth,
yeah, any one of those words you want to use, you would probably get that type of investment in the story. I'll do this now so that if it happens, I'll look like a genius. And if it doesn't happen, people will know that I had a better option. Because Cody is the other champion. Riddle me this. Who did Cody beat for the championship?
This is your daily acknowledgement.
Thank you. That's why it's the whole reason for doing that. And that set into motion all the things that broke apart the family and ruined what the bloodline was at the time. It was just the implosion of everything. For Jay to be the one to go back a year later, main event, and reclaim the Holy Grail for the bloodline, YEET for 15 minutes straight with an entire Allegiant Stadium rocking along in unison. Only then to have the tribal chief come to the ring, acknowledge, embrace Jay, and then present him with the Ulafala.
He gets the Lola Falana.
That's for after we go off the air. That's for the tour bus for the ride to Raw. Hey, you open these doors. That's your fault. All I'm saying is the better story is dealing with Cody. They were tag team champions during the year. They had a relationship. It's more gripping television to me for my money.
Which leads us to potentially the feud of the summer.
Which would be?
If what you're saying irons out, which I think one way or the other, whether we get Cody versus Jay or Cody versus Cena, I think we're going to get the worst version of Cody we've seen this side of AEW.
Which absolutely means for me, that is the only, I'm glad you said that. Peacemaker versus Homelander is the only match I will accept in place of this. I'm still not going to be happy about Jay not closing the show. But okay. Cena versus Cody, I'm with that.
I wouldn't be mad. Like, we don't have to get Cena to get his to get 17 at Mania. I mean, of course, it's always a feel-good story, but
you got a whole year.
Yeah, he has a whole year.
Whole year.
There's a nondescript moment where the crowd is paying to see Cena, and they can give the crowd what they want and give Cena what he deserves at that show. We're not going to get a Cena heel turn. I'm not going to say that 110%. I'm going to say like 98.3%. I digress.
Okay.
Cody, and this is a subtle shot here. I don't know if you want to put too much stock into this. Cody has been growing stubble. We haven't seen Cody with facial hair since he was dashing.
That's the old 1990s precursor to any heel turn. You start growing additional hair where you didn't. Pause.
A 5 o'clock shadow when you've never seen one is the immediate precursor to
chest hair when you used to nair it off, Shawn Michaels.
It's about to go down in a major way. Please buckle up your seatbelts.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Good catch. I like that.
Yeah. So it's either way, Jay or Cena. Cody is a different version on Raw after Mania. Raw after Mania, man. I think this might be the best one we've had since before the pandemic. Because we haven't really had, like, it's really been ever since they did that documentary on the Raw after Mania that it's been downhill. We have yet to get that ooh-wee moment like we did at like 34, 35.
It's weird because, like, as if you've been paying attention to the new Raws on Netflix, they book for 90 minutes instead of 3 hours like they were previously. So it's everybody's kind of finding.
Yo, great catch. Remember, we used to call them Raw 90, SmackDown 90 when it was on Hulu.
Yep.
So if you take away the commercial breaks, we're looking at right at 90 minutes because the only one we got that was 3 hours was the first episode of January the 6th. Everything after that's been 2.5 hours.
You see what I'm saying?
and we don't feel shorted.
Nah, like they feel like they end when they're supposed to. So I guess if you're looking at it from a television writing structure standpoint, yeah, that extra 30 minutes is all ad commercial time, and you notice the backstage segments aren't as long.
Yeah, and they make a lot more sense.
It's a lot more pacing. The show is paced differently because you don't have to allow for television breaks and things of that nature. So same page.
That's 26 hours a year given back to talent. Let that math work for you. It's a whole day and change. Give it back.
The fries already in the bag, bro. What are we sitting here negotiating for? The fries are in the bag. Let's go. But 100%, I'm gonna say it's a better option, in my opinion, for Jay and Cody to have that match. The build would be better. The payoff is better when Jay wins. The payoff is even better when Cody finally decides to turn heel because of it. Because now you give Homelander, who, I mean, if you're familiar with the show,
the boys on Amazon, if you don't know what we're talking about.
Facts. I got catching up to do, but just still, I know the premise. So if you know the premise and you know Cody is going to have a heel turn, he has to be every bit as sinister as he is professional now. He is incredibly professional. He needs to be every bit as sinister. Who's a bigger target? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. For my watchers of the boys, if you finish season 3, oh yeah, we here now. Wherever they were trying to go with the end of season 3, we are literally here now in real life. Cody is really about to help that out.
And considering the reaction of the internet wrestling community, the same internet wrestling community that kind of pushed the narrative on this last year, who better for Cody to start that turn on
than the biggest face in the history of the company long term?
The face that no one wants to accept that is the face.
He was literally the face that ran the place before AJ Styles stole it from Cena in front of his face.
Look, comic book store guy hates Jey Uso. Let's just that's the best way I can explain it. Comic book store guy hates Jey Uso, but typically loves Cody Rhodes. So what is the easiest way to get Cody's heel turn over and over? Is to aim at the one that everyone else loves, but that particular section hates. So they won't shit on the character change, but they'll also bolster the heel turn. So, hey, look, this has been my TED Talk. All I'm saying is, if you just give me the pen and leave me alone.
You know what? You say that, I heard something completely different.
What you? For a nominal fee.
Soon to be.
A phenomenal fee. We'll slice off some of this broken pencil knowledge and put it on your plate.
Yo, wait a minute. I hate that I even played that because I guess you got reminded of something.
What's that?
Shouts out to Pencil Pusher, BPBC gang member, episode 176 co-host Mega Ran, who also now has the lyrics on the New Day theme that's produced by Jim Johnston.
Is that who that was?
Yes.
I didn't really get a chance to hear the words. I saw the new outfits. They got the Transformers gear, very subtle play. I heard some of the music, but I didn't get a clear listen to it. And yeah, everything about my social media experience this week has been, trying not to crash out.
We'll get to that. We got a few minutes for that. For Mega Ran, who is just a top tier, top shelf pro wrestling fan of the culture, friends with the New Day, to get production from arguably the greatest producer of pro wrestling music in history, and Jim Johnson.
That's like getting a beat from Dre.
What more is there to say? That's a flex. That is a huge flex.
Hey, we got to get him back on the show just to talk about how that came about.
I hope we can get him before Mania weekend, because he's been busy. He was at the Grammys this past Sunday.
When is he not busy?
Yeah, this is facts too. But I'm with you. I will send out the APB.
We'll just shoot our shot. Speaking of which,
you know what?
We got another one in the chamber.
Hold on, I'm about to do this right now.
Are you gonna shoot your shot live on air?
I'm not gonna call him, but I'm gonna do this in the 2025 way. Yo, Mega Ran, we are actually recording episode 247 of the BPBC. We just gave you a huge shout out on the New Day record with Jim Johnston. We got to get you back on the show to talk about that, man. So you know what this is, man. Scream at your people, man. Hope all is well. Peace.
That's a flex.
Now that's a flex.
That's the energy I want from you for the rest of this year. I want unmitigated, just unchecked flexing. I want the whole year to be just flex after flex, like Ico Pro.
Wait, whoa! Just unadulterated Lex Luger in the background for no reason, flexing. Like Lee Haney on the IBF magazine cover flexing.
That is not what I said. You didn't listen to anything I said, and you just went and did your own thing. That's that internet wrestling community in your system. You didn't hear what I said. You heard what you wanted to hear.
I heard what I wanted to hear. Exactly.
You know what Rock told you about them chicken nuggets. Jeez. Oh, and since we're on the subject of the internet wrestling community, so have you heard this about how like there's this huge situation of flux with the internet wrestling community that like they're mad at The Rock now because he's reportedly not going to be a part of WrestleMania 41 in a wrestling capacity? I thought that's what you wanted. I thought we don't need The Rock. We don't want The Rock. But when it's time when you thought it was the presumed time for The Rock to put Cody over, that's what you wanted.
We don't need to put up with accusations, and most definitely not false accusations.
Hey, look, you can't get our next season canceled by using his voice. Ha! Now, bing bong. So, what I'm trying to understand from these people is either you want the final boss or you don't. Which is it?
Let me carry the one real quick.
Go ahead, do your math.
This is literally his company.
When I damn well please.
This is literally his company.
Literally.
Whether you want him in a wrestling capacity, a ring announcer capacity, a referee capacity, catering capacity, cameraman capacity, commentator capacity, board of directors capacity, guest appearance in the crowd capacity. He can do so with no money involved like that.
When I damn well please. Bitch, you'll get what I give you.
Shut up. Put on your seatbelt. If you don't like it, don't spend money with him. It's that simple. That's how you get a reaction to somebody, is that you put your money where your mouth is, or you keep it in your pocket and stay home. Go elsewhere. You don't even got to stay home. Just go elsewhere.
No, but wasn't that the whole?
Well, hold on, man.
Uh-oh, I can already see it.
I'm not doing this right now.
Do it. No, whatever it is, do it.
No.
Whatever it is, you do it right now.
Mega Red said, "Peace, I'm ready." We're gonna try to book him for 248.
Live in Technicolor, you no good. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna applaud myself. I'm not no Barry Horowitz either.
I don't have an applause trigger over here, so you're gonna have to do it.
I don't even need it. I don't need it.
Let's get ready to rumble!
So technically, I do have applause, but they come with Michael Buffer. So just I don't understand the. Wasn't that the whole thing that Kung Fu Panda got into these interviews all during last year and was like, well, we don't need you to come back. We hot enough on our own. We don't need you. We don't want you. You riding our wave. We not riding yours. So why is the fan base now upset because that man has prior whatever? Or he could just be working everyone and he doesn't have prior commitment.
Is it so funny how those jabs and those shots that he tried to fire off, he had now to deflect on people like CM Punk because you don't ruffle the feathers of the person who signs your check.
I mean, look, you're not finna get no more skin in the game if you waiting on me. That's what you're not gonna get. You're not finna put no more skins on the wall waiting to shave my back. Pause. So whatever it is you need to go get done to make yourself feel better about your position and all this, you better go do it on your own.
Hey, go do it on your own time and do it with a padded wall where there's no microphones involved. Because if there's a microphone there and something gets recorded, I guarantee you it's gonna make it to the internet and your ass is gonna be grass.
Like there is a hatred that lives deep inside of some of you.
There's a line.
There is a hatred and a line. It is deep in your soul, and if it doesn't eat you inside out, just
hey, let's test the limits of this line.
All right, come on.
First of all, how is it that the biggest wrestling fan in hip hop, and I'm this ain't even a question, because how big of a wrestling fan do you have to be to show up at not just WWE events in the front row, but AEW events in the front row, MLW events, TNA events in the front row, and
wow.
you start your own organization.
That part, while funding your own federation.
This man I'm talking about, West Side Gun, was front row, sitting right next to Pat McAfee on Monday Night Raw. Shouts out to Smoke Dizza. He was right next to him. They represent the fourth rope on camera. All these hip hoppers that they had in Atlanta last week, not one mention. Not one mention of West Side Gun.
Because
go ahead.
Because of all the aforementioned rappers on all of these other episodes and different things, especially with the last two trips to Atlanta for, Raw and for Bad Blood, West Side Gun is the only one of those that for sure is going to pop up at somebody else's event and be in prominent feature.
Okay. Cool.
And he's the only other one that we know of has money invested into the industry itself.
Doubling down. AEW is in Atlanta tonight. West Side Gun, front row again. Who daps him up? MVP.
Of course.
And the fact that Excalibur Herb actually mentioned him, it actually hurt my soul. But I was actually glad to hear his name on TV for actually supporting product when he does everything he can to support everybody's product, and no one supports him other than the organizations that he be at, because they show up at his events.
Westside did that new Hurt Syndicate interesting though too. So then there's that. So that might be the reason that we can go with for now, but that ain't the first show Westside Gun's been front row for.
No, not at all. But the fact that he was on WWE on Monday and AEW on Wednesday, and AEW is the only ones that ever given him a shout out, and WWE never has, and we see him featured as much as we see the Trinity Flag guy, who's apparently his budget then got smaller because he didn't get pushed further and further back off the camera.
I mean, we got to make room for new stars, right?
But all that to say, so that's one issue that I wanted to address. The other issue is this one. the internet, by and large, because you wouldn't dare do this you wouldn't do it in Cleveland for Monday Night Raw.
Cleveland is the city that we come from. So run. I'm sorry, I just had a flashback.
You wouldn't you wouldn't do it in Indianapolis for the Rumble because you have no balls.
Yikes.
You go to the internet and you talk about how bad this decision was to crown Jay. Aside from all the hoopla that was what LA Knight did to cause Drew McIntyre to act cool, we ain't talking about that.
Say, man.
Yeah, and LA Knight, if you want to get your shit in, man, get your shit in, dog. Whatever. But anyway.
What's your finish, kid?
I'll move.
I ain't moving.
Oh.
That's funny.
Jay wins, brings his son in, but all of a sudden, 70,000 people and having a YEET concert, and then another 13,000 the next night going for 15 minutes solid.
Bruh.
With a run back, with an encore on live television. That's not enough. That's not enough to make you understand why this is a good decision.
Hey, look, City brought this to our attention because I didn't even realize it. That was the first time, in as far as we can tell, in wrestling history, that the crowd has called for an encore of entrance music.
Opening segment. Segment 1. The cameras just went live. I don't think this has ever happened.
Sorry, man. I've never heard it. And
shouts out to my cousin Free City.
Free City. So in the Extendo group chat, we were talking about the same thing, and we're like, what? Did this ever happen before? And I was like, nah, not that I can think of, because like I try to be on point with stuff like that. And I was like, the closest thing I've ever seen is the aforementioned Good Try Terry in the air quotes Hogan must pose phase. And that's the era where every pay-per-view that went off the air that had Good Try Terry in the ring ended with 10 to 12 to 15 minutes of posing and hand gestures.
And Good American on loop ad nauseum.
Real American blaring and blasting. He was going to and that's why he never lost, because he's not going to pose if he doesn't win. So he's got to win. So the ending of every pay-per-view was a foregone conclusion because Hogan must pose. It's the closest thing I've ever seen. And this is even more phenomenal because it's organic.
It's akin to the Yes movement, and you may have heard that from announcers. It's true.
It is true.
It is as organic as the Yes movement.
Good catch, because I didn't even think about the Yes movement. But yes, every bit is organic. Yeah, but I've never seen a crowd call for a live rerun of entrance music just so they can keep celebrating. They've never done that with Seth Rollins as much as they sing his theme music.
CM Punk has a song that's been popular for damn near 30 years. They've never done it with him.
Randy Orton.
Oh, they just started singing his song. But he won't be the first. But I guarantee you he'll be among the next to get a encore when he comes back.
Thank you, France. And at this point, I'm willing to make a judgment call here. Can we give Jay the Fireflies back?
Especially since they own different brands.
Especially since Wyatt Six can't even get no camera time.
You know what? I really hate that they're the kiss of death right now. I mean, they're on SmackDown, but they're the kiss of death. So like basically,
I mean, they can't book themselves.
I really hope that they don't get involved with like the Solos and the Jacob Fatus. Because then everything goes away with them if they do that on SmackDown.
As much as I was ever a proponent of like the Bray Wyatt style horror movie type booking and just those elements, Jacob Fatu is entirely too real life for you to put anything going on with the Wyatt Six around his neck right now. Like
Jacob Fatu be the type to walk up to Bo Dallas and be like, "Is you wearing makeup?"
You see what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine? Okay, imagine Jacob Fatu walking through a haunted house. He's swinging on everything.
You old.
You see what I'm saying? Jacob Fatu is cussing out and swinging on everything that moves.
Hell, you trash. Hell, you on a barge. Hell, you in a hefty.
Hell, you a rabbit. Hell, you a pig.
Hell, we got a barnyard. Hell, maybe even a zoo.
Hell, I got Sister Abigail in my car.
Hell, look like roadkill to me.
You see what I'm saying? You see? Some people just ain't gonna play along, and I don't think that Jacob Fatu should have to play along. Nor should Solo or Tama or Tongaloa or Bronson Reed when he comes back.
Tonga's cursed himself because he's already playing along now with that. Yeah.
That ain't enough for me to put you in a little shop of horrors.
This is very factual. Yes, absolutely.
Look, factual. It just ain't the same. It just ain't the same, and that's the fear that we all had when it finally came back around. It was like, this might be okay. This might be cool. And then we saw what it was, and we're like, maybe. Saw him wrestle, not so much. Now it's like, did you have to come back? So now you got six people, and now shout out to Alexa Bliss, she's back.
Yeah,
she's got
really good showing too.
She has the doll, and apparently the doll has a 6 for one of the eyes.
And she also had one of the more interesting stories coming into the Rumble, as we weren't even expecting to see her.
I thought she wasn't coming back. Well, Michael Cole that guy's hilarious.
Michael Cole opening up the book on TV is good. That is best for business.
Facts. Let him do that.
Come on, Penta, the worst kept secret in professional wrestling.
Like they are opening. I love that they're opening fire on the dirt sheets.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good, clean fun. Everybody's having a good time, you know.
You tell me who you're talking about without telling me who you're talking about. All right, go. But all that hoopla about what Jay did, just to talk about the next installment of WWE 2K25, the Island of Relevancy Bloodline Edition.
It's the only one I'm buying. It's the only one I'm buying. That's it.
I'm sure we've confirmed as of today, Alpha and Sika.
Yes.
Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns, your tribal chief, and head of the table. Jay and Jimmy Uso. And for shits and giggles, Nia Jax and Naomi.
Yokozuna was on 24, so I would assume he'd be on 25.
We say these are deep cuts. Yokozuna,
Umaga. Oh, did you see this? 3-minute warning is supposed to be in the roster.
Rest in peace, Jamal. Rosie. Rosie's also going to be on here too.
Look, from what I've seen, and I haven't done the deep dive on all of the things that are supposed to be coming out with the game, the roster is supposed to be 300 characters deep. 126 of them will be Bloodline members.
You know what also that means?
What that?
That means they're probably going to get Lance and or Hikuleo and or Zilla as addable characters later on this year. Number one. 2, that means not Rikishi Fatu, but Fatu and Samu.
The head shrinkers. Yeah. That means we get Alpha as a manager.
We also get the SST as they were once a WCW property.
Tonga Kid. Talk that. Say, bro.
It's Tonga Kid and Fatu right there.
I like it. I like where this is going. I know who won't be on there for obvious reasons, but still, it would be really cool if we just snuck him in there real quick.
Can you imagine the SST versus 3-minute warning?
It's like Thanksgiving 1988. Like that dead ass. That had to be Thanksgiving 88.
That was a feared tag team in SST. In 3-minute warning, they never really got a match in. They were just more so just damage control for anything whack on TV.
Which one is it, Deuce or Domino that's Bloodline Gang?
That would be Deuce.
Boom. Tamina. It might be 126 characters that are in the Bloodline for real.
And if you got Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa in there, by default you got to have Haku. And if you have Haku, the Barbarian. You got to put the Barbarian in there.
Hey, do we get King Haku on this release? Not just Haku, but King Haku.
We have to get King Haku. Matter of fact, because it's the Island of Relevancy, I would not doubt that we actually get a King of the Ring montage the way we get like the road to WrestleMania and include how we get the King Haku.
Because I don't know if I want King Haku, old school purple tights Haku, or do I want Big Fro Ming from like late WCW times?
Ooh, that Big Fro Ming was so underrated, bro. That time when he was there was like, it was a really dark time for WCW, and just having him on TV was just for fans. It had nothing to do with getting him any type of accolades or anything, which was tragic. Hindsight being 2020, he should have been booked way better. Did we mention last week that I know when we did the awards I did mention this, but he was actually briefly in a tag team with Hacksaw Butch Reed early on in his career in Canada.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I need to see that. There's certain things you just got to see.
Yeah, I hope there's footage out there, but it was a Canadian promotion, and he and Butch Reed were briefly in the tag team in I believe it was either late 70s or early 80s.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I digress. Needless to say, we have another project that we'll be working on this spring that we would love to bring to you. You see the ads on the socials. Make sure you add that on your gaming platforms as well. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm on the PS5. Mr. Burgundy is on both PS5 and Xbox.
No. I am no longer. No. They haven't sent me. Ain't no money. Ain't no money in my account.
He's grown up.
I didn't do whatever this last one was. What, the X series or whatever. So Xbox One was my last thing, and that's because I was playing a whole lot of Mortal Kombat 11.
Not for nothing, you did leave your PS5 in the box for over a year, which that's
almost 2. Almost 2. I have no shame. I get money.
I'm just glad I didn't have to shame you into using it. That was just like, you still got that thing? Oh, okay.
I mean, I had a reason for not using it. But
no, you had a valid reason. Like I will never discount that. Like you had a bag attached to that bad boy, but as life happens and things get back outside,
it was just the fact that like you go through the trouble to actually get a PS5 and you got it for retail, which was another flex, and then you just left it in the box for like a year and didn't even take it out.
You got one of the it was a second edition PS5 with the OG body. It had Miles Morales with the bundle.
Yes,
that within itself is a flex because that was one of the hardest bundles to come across with the Miles. And did you get the second controller that was a Miles Morales themed controller too, or no?
That I did not. I got a second standard controller, but not the Miles Morales.
Yeah. See, even me, like I got into the lottery on through Sony, and I had to pay for a second controller, and I just got the black because I had the white one that came with, and then got the OG black. They go with it too. So yeah.
All of that.
Yeah. So all this game talk, keep that in your back pocket, but just know that's what we headed. But we still doing this. Like this ain't going nowhere.
No. We just gonna add to the cavalcade of
the empire expands.
That's it. So that's why we're including this 2K25 talk, because we'll be transitioning part of that to what we do here. Just stay tuned.
Yeah. And then we'll end on because I think you had something that you want to talk about All In, but how is it that we go to bed on such a high Saturday night from Royal Rumble with Jey Uso winning?
I should have just gone to bed.
Oh, you say you got this in real time?
I got this in the realest of real time.
There are feelings of like being gut punched, feel like you're in a simulation and things aren't real, like you actually are dreaming within a dream, and you wake up and then you realize that the dream is over, but then you still have like emotional damage from the dream that you had.
Emotional damage. Yeah.
I woke up, mind you, I have a deep place in my heart for Dallas. Will always have a deep place in my heart for Dallas. I never hated the Mavericks. I can't say that I was a Mavericks fan living in Dallas as long as I was. I'm a lifelong Laker fan. But there have been times where I have been struggling with my fandom with Los Angeles. The last 4 years have been part of that, one of those stretches. The Mike Dunleavy era was one of those stretches. To a degree, Kobe Bryant, but it was for the same reasons that I had this thing for the Bulls with Michael Jordan. I learned to appreciate Kobe by the time his career was over. And waking up to the news that the most sought after pure shooter in the NBA and Luka Doncic had been traded to one of the most fragile people in the history of the league, who is arguably a Hall of Famer, but he's a world champion, in Anthony Davis. And initially, I thought it was a gut punch to both franchises. And then we heard some. Well, actually, before I go into that, Suave, give me your real time reaction to that.
So it's about midnight, 12:15 ish Central Time. You know, I've watched the press conference. I've done the whole Royal Rumble. I've gone through the whole thing. Seen the press conference, feel cool. I'm like, all right. Gonna hop on, do a little bit of gaming as I get ready to wind it down. And I open my phone and open a social media app, and the first thing I see is this post from actually, I don't even see who it's from first. I see the breaking news attached, and it says Dallas Mavericks trade Luka Doncic to the LA Lakers for Anthony Davis. Obviously, it's 2025. First thing I'm like, this is AI. This is
lying.
Yeah, quit lying, quit playing. Now, this isn't like 5-10 minutes and then I find out it's untrue. I look immediately to the top to see who posted this. It's from ESPN.
Reputable source.
Because I check my sources all the time. And I'm like, what? I'm thinking like somebody's been hacked. This is a joke. And I'm looking and I'm like, no, this is real. We just traded 25-year-old, 5-time All-NBA Luka Doncic.
And last year of this particular contract,
before he would be eligible for a 5-year, $345 million Supermax extension for top 75 NBA player, often injured, but top 75 NBA player and NBA champion, Anthony Davis. And immediately, I feel as though I've lost a family member. It's like
not lost them to the system.
No.
Lost them to the other realm.
To the street. Like it's the same type of like that you get that sinking feeling when you get one of them bad calls that time of night. So it's the same trauma. And I'm like, I don't get it. I'm not understanding. Like, okay. So then I start thinking, I'm like, what did we get back? Because all it said was player for player. I know damn well. Absolutely not. We didn't do 1 for 1. So then I look and I see Max Christie and a 2029 first round pick. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, is there more? Come to find out, there is not more. Let me put this in context for people who may not be up on NBA trades and who gets what. Rudy Gobert, center for the Minnesota Timberwolves,
aka Bum Anderson,
aka Outbreak Monkey.
Hey, no.
Nah, he gotta wear that. He gotta wear that. He gotta wear that. And we refer to him as Outbreak Monkey because right when the pandemic was starting, he thought the pandemic was a joke and decided to cough on some microphones and then cough in his hands and rub it in the hair of what's my guy? Spider Mitchell.
Yep. They got him too.
Yeah, and then right after that, the whole league shut down.
We got an episode where we talking live and shut down in real time, watching the game.
We were recording an episode in real time when the NBA just said, we're done. Everybody go home. In the middle of the game.
And that's the closest thing other than, like you said, the loss of a family member, a really good friend. I had felt to that day was getting the news on Sunday morning. Go ahead, though. Continue.
So, yes. He was traded from the Utah Jazz to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anybody care to guess how many first-round draft picks were involved in that swap?
I want to say 0.
You would be incorrect. The correct answer is 5. 5. The trade that ended up with Anthony Davis in LA had 9 attached to it. KD going from, I think the trade that either got KD to Brooklyn or KD out of Brooklyn was like 8, 9 plus players. You got a player, great one, but great one who's about to be 32 in March, and 1 draft pick and 1 possible player who's young, unproven. But what you gave up there, Max Christie could turn around and be a perennial all-star. Anthony Davis could finish his career as a perennial all-star and a 30-15 guy for the rest of his career. We are talking about a 25-year-old, 5-time All-NBA player.
Phenom.
Steph Curry doesn't have 5 all-NBA team selections.
Steph Curry also was not in the NBA Finals last season.
Leading all playoff participants in points, rebounds, and
34, 9, and 9. Those are 6'1" shooting guard numbers. 34 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists per game during the playoffs. And you offload him. Now let's go. The elephant in the room here, though, what has seemingly needed to be addressed is
the drug use of the front office.
There's no accountability in front offices, including, you know what? Let me stop because I almost got out of pocket right there.
Look, remember when I told you about it Sunday. I said we should record as soon as possible because I got way more smoke. I've had time to process this. I have defunded my whole. Okay, I was a Mavs fan by birth because I was born here, and other than some family affiliations with Penny Hardaway, I was an Orlando Magic fan as a child. And then, obviously you see more Michael Jordan than you see anything because he's the guy that's always in the finals. So you're a Jordan fan. But as far as having a team, we operate from home and then we figure it out. So Rangers, Cowboys, Mavericks, Stars, sidekicks, because that's how far I've been outside. Mm-hmm. So forth and so on. Yeah, I was outside when Tattoo was getting busy.
That boy said Tattoo.
Dallas Sidekicks, Tattoo. So I was outside for the Richie Adebayo days.
What was that? MISL back in the day with Tattoo?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Indoors with the green green field.
Yep, yeah. MISL, yep.
So
before MLS.
I lived the Rolando Blackman, Brad Davis days into
rest in peace, Roy Tarpley, Adrian Dantley,
all of these people into the Popeye Jones era, the 3 J's. I was there for the I was there for the 15-win Richie Adebayo seasons when the practice jerseys they were giving away had the FINA logo on the top lapel. I suffered in the trenches till we had 3 J's, Jamal Mashburn, Jim Jackson, and Jason Kidd. And because the 3 of them, or at least 2 of the 3, were beefing about a chick, you traded 2 of them.
But man,
which is why I still don't give a damn about Tony Braxton to this day. I don't care who breathes again. Right. Where's my championship?
Yeah, to get traded to breathe again. Let me find out.
You know what I'm saying? So 1996, Jason Kidd gets traded to the Phoenix Suns unbeknownst to him, which that's one of the first fails. So there's that blowing up of the team. I was there for that. Jamal Mashburn gets I forgot who he got traded off to. But either way, Jim Jackson stayed. Shout out to the rubber bands on his wrist, but we didn't do nothing during that era. And then we finally got to 1998. We ended up with Dirk. It worked out.
21 seasons.
21 seasons. We made mistakes during that because we got rid of Steve Nash. Don't know why.
Dallas was robbed in 06 by Miami. Robbed.
Dunleavy, you no good inmate. Come back. We get the 2011 chip redemption. Because, boy, I said some horrible things about Dwayne Wade and will continue to every time I think about 06.
I was in a very dark place, and that kind of in 11, and that kind of boosted my spirits. It turned me around because the city was happy. I was happy because the city was happy.
I was outside and as active as humanly possible for 2011. I enjoyed that thoroughly. But then the team gets blown up right after that. They don't even get a chance to defend the title. Another gut punch to Dallas fans.
And wasn't it blown up because of a lockout? Or during a lockout?
It was blown up because our then majority owner, Mark Cuban, outthought himself to a degree. He figured he wanted to not be locked into bad contracts going into a new CBA just because you were trying to defend a title. So he blew the team up and kept the star. But what it told the rest of the league was some bad decision making. How can I trust that I can go there and be comfortable if the first time you get a wild hair up your funky Watusi, you're gonna end up and trade away the whole squad.
Watusi.
You know what I'm saying? So we have that happen, and we go for a long stretch. Like after that, like Dirk is still box office, but we're not getting back. We're not getting back to the finals. It's just not working.
He ain't getting no help.
No help. We can't get a free agent to come here for to play with Dirk at all. And for a lot of the time, I thought it was because you were basically pitching to every possible free agent, you can come be Dirk's co-star. Nobody wants to hear that.
So you had to draft his homeboy to learn under him, to learn under the learning tree for a year.
So at the end of Dirk's career, just, I guess threw us a bone. The basketball god said, you know what? Well done, my true and faithful servant. Go ahead, you sit down. You going straight to the Hall of Fame. We finna bring on your heir apparent. Atlanta drafted him first. Let's keep that real. Atlanta drafted him first, but on draft night, we swapped. Trae Young was going to be a Dallas Maverick, and Luka Doncic was going to end up playing in Atlanta. We swapped. Luka showed up here. Now, mind you, it was a 3-year stretch before Luka was drafted that we had like 30 win seasons when they play 82 games and you won 30 games. Luka showed up, and from year one, All NBA, resurrects the franchise. We're at the end of this deal that he has now, and he's already been to 1 NBA Finals and 2 Western Conference Finals. But you traded that guy away, and the part of it that is so traumatizing for the fan base is that we didn't trade. Technically, we traded for him, but he's been ours the whole time. He's been in the uniform the whole time. The term that we used to use around here a lot, we grew in, they flew in.
Mm-hmm.
He grew in.
Dallas had nicknames for Luka, Ledbetter Luka.
Say, man.
You know what I'm saying? It was nothing to see that man walking up and down Lower Greenville.
Uncle Luka's Freak Show. Because that was the first one. It was Uncle Luka's Freak Show. Then it was Luka Vandross. That was my personal favorite before Ledbetter Luka. And then I went miniature viral with the artwork for Ledbetter Luka. So
that's what the South Dallas dropped, the shag.
with the blue do-rag out in front of the Cliff Club. You have to know Ledbetter to know the artwork on there and to know those historical spots. The Cliff Club, Williams Chicken, and it's another spot. Big T. If you know Ledbetter, you know those places. So Ledbetter Luka, and we do that because he played the game like he was one of us. Now you take one of us to mean whatever you want it to. But the guys we traded for, they not like us because we don't know them people.
Scuttlebutt says, and this is completely unsubstantiated rumor until confirmed as fact, that Luka drank a beer before and after every game.
I think that was a joke.
Be that as it may, that's dangerous to someone's career as an athlete.
I don't care if he had a long neck in one hand and a Virginia Slim in the corner of his mouth bringing the ball up court.
I'm not saying him playing it's dangerous. What I'm saying is saying something like that can give the wrong connotation to somebody. Like you can misdiagnose somebody because you can't do what that person does, which will be catastrophic to that person's resume. Not saying that's damaging what he does because maybe it's fuel for him. You see what I'm saying? But then you also have someone like Anthony Davis that, and I just hate to say this, but this is my fact. Every time I turn on the TV to try to watch a Laker game, he gets hurt, and I'm not even bullshitting.
His nickname, affectionately amongst the internet, which of course the internet is no place for logic and reason, but his nickname is Street Clothes. But at this point, I have removed the level of, I don't call it the level of love, just my level of give a fuck about the Mavericks has dissipated. Because you've done something to me that look, at this point, I've lived long enough to know what type of events and what type of transgressions that end up being ESPN 30 for 30 documentaries.
Talk about it.
This is one of those. This is one of those that in 20 years, there's going to be a documentary made about this, about how stupid it was. And then it's not just the trade. It's the way you try to justify the trade by slandering the man's character and his practices and habits. Look, again, you heard what I just said. I don't care if the man had a long neck in one hand, a Shiner Bock in one hand, the basketball in the other, dribbling up court, and a Virginia Slim in the side of his mouth. Pause. What did he do in the finals? Give me them numbers again.
Not just the finals, the entire playoffs, 39-9-9 or 34-99.
And as Markieff Morris just said during his Lakers press conference, if you can do that in today's NBA, I don't know what in shape is. If Luka's not in shape, I don't know what in shape is. Mm-hmm. So you have all these stat bros that live in the comment section, and that's the logic that they will continue to use. You know how you know this is bad? You have ESPN pundits and analysts using the same argument, but turning right around and saying that this is a generational get for the Lakers. You can't sell me both cars, bro. Either this will be my summary and I'm off of it. We traded a Ferrari with a check engine light for an Escalade with a check engine light and more miles. And ain't neither one of them got AAA.
Damn. And they were both on lot. These weren't even private sales.
I'm out. I can't. You read my lower third. I am accepting NIL deals for a new sports home because the Cow. It's like the Mavericks have obviously lost their damn mind. Don't want nothing to do with me no more. So I'm entertaining. I'm trying to see because I'm not going to be fully vested in the Mavericks ever again like I was.
Let me ask you a question, and we can close out. We can drop the sponsors and the socials and get on going. We can recharge our better attitudes.
Straight like that.
What's the odds of us getting what I sent to you completed by next show?
I'll tell you why later, but low.
Damn it! All right.
You got a minor miracle getting this out of me today. Because remember what I told you about last week? That was still going on.
Well,
so yeah. I haven't even had we'll chop that up soon. We done. Well,
248. Hopefully next week with Mega Ran. We put it out there. He already confirmed, so we'll figure that out. If it can't happen. He will be on a future show very soon. There also will be a little surprise.
We got some stuff tucked away for some future shows.
In about 2 weeks.
Going on a trip.
A very special trip and our favorite rocket ship. Show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com. That's at brokenpencilbc on all things social. At brokenpencilbc on what?
Everything. And everything.
Shouts out to our sponsors, Vida Hermosa Cigars. Vida Hermosa, it's a beautiful life, a premium cigar experience. VitaHermosa.com coming Vida Hermosa Cigars coming very, very soon. Serwin Vega Pro Audio. Shouts out to Gary. Shouts out to Henry out in Los Angeles, California. SerwinVega.com. You know what I'm saying? We got the cans, the Pro Studio monitors, 10-inch 3-way powered wireless studio monitors.
Mm-hmm.
All like together, the whole 3-way powered wireless studio monitors, 10-inch.
That's fine.
They got them 8s, 3-way, 2-way 6s and 5s. Like they got the whole gamut. Go check them out. If you got a bike or something, like you got a chopper that you want to throw some aftermarket audio in, they got you on that too. So then tell them Broken Pencil sent you. Gary take care of you. Now, all the housekeeping issues out the way, suave, round up the horses, take them to the house.
Pencil pushers, like, rate, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell that friend to tell a friend, and then tell that friend again. Heads up, pencils down. Don't trust nobody named Nico.
Ever.
Whole lot of fucking gang shit.